Hello everyone, my name is Jason from the sampling room and shishaintheuk.co.uk. Today, finally, I am bringing you the promised cigar review. One of my first cigar video. Now, I have been promising this for a while. I will get into why I haven't obviously been about for a while, and I do apologise about that, but I'll get into that in a minute. As I say, today I'll be doing the cigar review. It'll be a Trinidad, is it Vigia or Vigia, whatever you want to say. And I'll also be drinking a St James's Brown Ale, a 5%. It's a brown ale, obviously from London, by the Mondo Brewing Company. Right, let's get on with the review. It is the Trinidad Vigia, or Vigia, whatever you want to call it. It's a Cuban cigar. I actually paid £10.41 for this. Now, normally I would obviously buy these from the UK, from a company called Cigars.co.uk or a similar company, but I did buy this from a website called top25cigars.com, and I will get into that in a minute. This is apparently a medium-bodied cigar, as I can see from the wrapper. Reasonably toothy. Very nice leathery, musky smell. Very nice smell actually. Very nice quality wrapper. It's a 54 ring gauge, 11.11 centimeters, or for other people 4.37 inches long. Right, let's get to the cut. Using my Cigar. Oh, it's got a nice, well, it's supposed to be a pigtail I think on the end, but it hasn't quite worked out like that. Right. No, it's not coming apart at all, so that's alright. I would use a piece of cedar, but I just can't be bothered at the moment, so I'm going to use good old trusty torch. Pretty nice aroma coming off of it. But even, it's quite a small cigar, so £10.41. I mean, granted, if you bought it in the UK, that would be a cheap cigar. And if any Americans are watching, I'm sorry, but you don't know how good you've got it with your price of cigars. I saw some of the prices on your websites recently, and I didn't see one really above $15. That'd be a miracle in this country. Yeah. Really good cloud output. Huge amount of pepper. Initial taste, I mean, huge pepper bomb. Very good draw. Bloody hell. Pepper and leather. Get a lot of that. Right, now I've got that started, let's smash open the bottle. Now I actually got this from a company called Beer 52, which is a subscription company. Not a bad company. Every now and then they forget an order, but I mean, they give a very good selection from it, and craft beer. You don't often see brown ales in craft beer, because it tends to be quite a very old-fashioned type of beer, like Newcastle Brown or something like that. But you don't often get this. Very nice beer. Pretty malty, as brown ale is supposed to be. Apparently it's supposed to be a 5% beer. It doesn't taste 5%. Pretty nice clear. Obviously not an unfiltered beer. A little bit hot, not too much hot. Yeah. Pretty simple. A nice one to go with a cigar. Not too hoppy, because I find if you have a hoppy beer with a cigar, it kills the cigar, or it completely throws off the flavour, so this is good. Nice cigar. Very nice. I will get on to why I haven't been with you. I got one of these very pleasant letters from the very pleasant people. Don't know if you can see that. Border Force. Now, I've often ordered things from abroad. Normally I do try and buy things from the UK, because I do believe in obviously local businesses and things like that, supporting your local businesses or small businesses. But as I did quite a large American cigar order, you can't always get them in the UK, and in the UK those prices can be very expensive, if not more expensive than Cuban cigars, you know, the premium Cuban cigars. So I like to outsource it sometimes. Top25cigars.com, I've got them from a few times before. Haven't really had any problems. I've had a couple of calls sometimes saying you've got to pay so much duty. Okay, I paid it. But they decided to seize it, didn't they? The absolute, you know what? I don't mind paying my duty. I'm not bothered. But why do you seize it and then just say, you know, you're not getting your package, and then they say you've got to pay tax? Well, just let me pay the tax. Just call me. You absolute knobheads. And I do apologise for the language, but they're knobheads. And they basically sent another letter saying if you want to contest this, you'll have to pay our fees. You have to take us to Crown Court, and it'd been, their fees would be no less £1,500 plus. Which, I'm sorry, this is a threat. This is bloody terrible. So I sent a massive letter. There is another way you can do it. You can ask for basically your goods to be returned to you and give you reasons and all this stuff without going through the courts. Basically kind of like an appeal, but not a legal appeal. But why can't, I don't see why they can't just call you. And I actually read into this, and if you order it from outside of the EU, you don't get your goods seized pretty much at all if it's not illegal. You don't at all. If it's in the UK, I actually read on the HMRC website, or government website, whichever one it was, that if you're in the EU, you're liable to get them seized. So if you're outside, if you order from outside, i.e. America to the UK, the only way you can get them stopped is if the parcel company that's delivering them stops them and calls you to ask to pay duty. Apparently they've cut right down on it, and they now don't do that at all for the UK. From EU to UK, they just cut it off. So I don't like to bring politics into it too much, but as you know, the UK may be pulling out of the EU, and for some reason it's supposed to be easy to trade or import-export stuff from the EU to UK. It's not! So what a crock of crap. The bright side though, I did get my cigars back after about them being in the 3 to 4 weeks of dry storage, so they were dried out to a good, and when I did get them back, the parcel was damaged to hell. And the people I did call, because you're supposed to call this number and that number, after I sent all this evidence and stuff like that through. So to be honest, I would normally recommend top25cigars.com, but it doesn't look like they've got any form of custom declaration on the envelope, so to them now, unfortunately. But I eventually got another letter through, I'll cover that up, from the HMRC website, saying that I must have only spent, I think I spent about £70 on these cigars, which was 9-10 cigars, something like that. And I know that sounds a lot to the Americans and whatnot, but that's actually ridiculously cheap for the UK, because if I'd have spent for that in the UK, actually went from a UK site or something, I'd have ended up spending, I don't know, probably 150, 170, maybe 180 quid for the ones I got. So I had to pay £51.45 duty, but I had to pay 20% VAT on that duty, which is an extra £10.29, which leaves £61.74, and the good old custom bastards charged me a 15% penalty on top for them seizing it, which was unnecessary, which was £9.26, leaving total restoration fees of £71 on top of my already £71 order. So that was quite an expensive experience. Nevertheless, I won't be ordering from the EU anymore. I'm going to order from the US if need be. So much for a good trade deal. By the way, this is burning very well. But as I say, if you are going to order from the UK, I do recommend the website cigars.co.uk. They're a very good company, very quick service. And if anything is wrong, I've only had one thing wrong once. I think that was a lighter or something like that. They apologised and they sent one out straight away, and they just said please send yours back as and when you can, which is very trusting service, I think. Got a lot of woodiness, a lot of earth, spice, some nutmeg, cinnamon, a little bit of leather now, and quite a bit of white pepper, like at the back of the throat, that lingers, which goes very well. Oh, lovely, the St James's Brown Ale. Right, I'll be back when I get further into the first third, come to the second third. Right, not even that far into the first third, but that spiciness, excuse me, has dropped right off. I mean, completely off. You barely get any pepper at all now. It's completely disappeared. You just get a lot of leather still, a lot of leather and quite a bit of creaminess as well. Very typical Cuban style cigar now, because it really tasted pretty American before that, American style. But it does taste very Cuban now with the creaminess. What else do I think? With butter, vanilla, maybe a touch of caramel. Again, it might be this centre, because obviously this is very nice beer, but that might be influencing me slightly because this is a little bit caramelly. Oh, honestly, perfect match. Couldn't have done a better match than that. Burn starting to get a bit wonky. There's nothing that really matters that much. But yeah, so very creamy this is now. That white pepper has almost completely disappeared, which is very strange. It was initially on the first light, it was a pepper bomb, but now it's just completely gone. Oh yeah, something I did mention, I did say it was 11.11 centimeters. I mean 111 millimeters. So that is right. Brain fart. Yeah, I was right the first time. Ignore me this time. Ash is holding on. I'm giving it a good tap, not coming off. Very nice. Obviously, I haven't finished the review yet, but stay tuned because I'll be hopefully I'm going to be getting through my advice for people going to Cuba, because I did a trip last year. I took a trip last year to Cuba, Havana. During, I think it was during their Patagas festival, or just basically the arse end of the Patagas festival, or Partagas, or however you, or Partagas, as they call it. But very nice place. I've had a load of footage from there, not the best footage in the world, quite a few photos, and I would like to give you obviously a bit of advice where to go, what to do, things to see as well. Right, I'll be back in the next third. Right, now on the second third, about 20 to 25 minutes in. I did set it down for a while. The burn is very good. It's starting to even out again, but a lot of the flavour has dropped off now. I mean, quite significantly. I have had a break from the ale, a little washout just in case it's that affecting it too much, or I'm getting a bit of blandness from it, or it's cancelling out some flavours, and it isn't that. Still a good compliment though. Still putting out a lot of smoke. Quite a chewy flavour in the mouth. If you know what chewy is, it's kind of like a thick texture. You really get a textured smoke in it. Very pleasant room note as well, and I actually popped outside the room and come back in again. It's a very, very typical Cuban pleasant room note. It's not like some of the, even though some of my favourite cigars, like some of the Alec Bradleys, even though they taste lovely, they leave quite a pungent room note. I am knocking off the ash now because that is going to go on my lap. But yeah, the burn time is starting to pick up a little bit, the speed, sorry. So you get quite a bit of leatheriness. It's leather and cream more than anything else, and quite a bit of butter. Sounds weird from a cigar, but I am getting a lot of butter from it, which, if you had a strong beer like a porter or a stout or a black IPA, something like that, don't smoke this cigar with it because while drinking it, or vice versa, or don't have, you know, because I tell you what, that will destroy the flavour or overwhelm it so much. Because this, I'd say this probably started off as a medium to full-bodied cigar, then halfway through the first third it went to medium. Now it's starting to go mild to medium, very much so dropping off. I haven't actually experienced that with a Cuban cigar before, except from the ones come wrapped in paper. I think they're called Fonsecas, because they're a naturally mild cigar. You kind of go into it expecting that. I have to admit, I don't know if it's because it's short, warm. It's getting warm and slightly squishy there. I'm going to take the band off now before I start smoking it. Excuse me. Still a very tasty cigar. Getting a bit of a black pepper tingle now, very slightly. Completely gone on the finish. Yeah, anyway, I'll check back in the last third. Right, final third and final thoughts. I've probably been smoking now for about 40-ish minutes, something like that. So it's lasted pretty well for a short cigar. I did go on the Cigar's website, where I normally get my spelt CGARS Limited Ltd.co.uk website, and the price they are giving is £18.49, so not a huge difference, to be honest with you, considering there's less tax. Because I think I actually I've recently found out the top25cigars.com website is actually based in Poland, so obviously their tax will be a hell of a lot lower. So that's not a bad price considering the UK tax. But they do describe it as a full flavour cigar. I'm sorry, I don't get anywhere near that. Initially it is, otherwise it's not. But now the flavour. Still got quite a bit of leather. Not too much. A lot of buttery, silky, smooth smoke. It's still a very pleasant cigar. But if anyone really wants that full flavoured smoke, don't go for this. Sorry about this. Well, I am having to finish the video up using my phone because my battery has just run out. Sorry, my camera has just run out of battery. So this is extremely frustrating. I can't remember where I got to. I'm saying the final third, the flavour has gone right down. It is just a very mild one. I have actually calmed down on the smoking now because it did start to get pretty hot. But a lot of the white pepper is starting to really kick in again now. It's very, very much puff by puff, to be quite honest with you. Still a lot of cream and butter notes. And the spice is starting to come back again. I don't know if that's because it's heating up or I don't know. And obviously the £18.49 from Cigars Limited .co.uk and the 10 odd quid from top25.com is actually a not bad price considering how cigars can be quite expensive. And obviously the St James Brown out is very tasty to go with it. I would definitely recommend picking this one up, definitely. And obviously please keep watching my videos. Please bear with me when I do come up with new content. I am planning a big video on the Cuban trip, and I've also got some cigars and accessories and whatnot to review. I've got, if I'm pointing the camera the correct way because it's backwards, not him, a new cigar accessory for my humidor, a new humidifier which is very good, which I'm going to do a review on soon. I'm going to do a review on some pipe tobacco, some shisha, some accessories, things like that as well, and also some new snuff that I've got and things like that. So thank you very much for watching. I much appreciate it. Give us a thumbs up, excuse me, comment, and please subscribe as well. I'd much appreciate that. Thank you very much for watching. Bye.